Hi, it's Candy. Welcome to the Art of Planning, where we are planning pretty, on purpose, and powerful. And thanks for hanging in there with me. What I'm finding to be a challenge is learning how to adjust the camera. I just filmed this once and it was a pretty good video, except there was this talking hand. I was so close. You got to see this really, really well, but there was also this big old hand hanging around, and I know that's happened with some of the other videos, so hang in there with me. We'll get it, I promise. So this video is actually going to build on the video that we did right before this one, and it was about too many planners meet Franklin planning. Maybe what I'm finding is that, golly, there are some people that have tons and tons and tons of planners, and what I'm hearing is that there's some planner confusion out there. It's a full-time job keeping up with all of the planners that people have, and that is not working well. So I wanted to show you with the other video about my daily Franklin planner, and then I'm going to build a little bit on that also, because I didn't get to go into depth quite as much as I wanted to, because I don't want the videos to be way long. And I actually filmed the one yesterday twice also, because it was way long, the first one. So I'm just going to add some information about that so that maybe you can plan more effectively. Now, I have a pretty planner. I have an Erin Condren also, which I love, but I looked for, found, and am using that for a totally different reason. So I am not throwing down on anybody that's got more than one planner. Please, please hear that. I just want to show you how you can have a workhorse of a planner and really do some in-depth daily planning that is going to be incredibly helpful for you. And why would you want to do that? Well, first of all, let me tell you that I have worked with a Franklin Covey daily planner. This is their classic size. I have used one of those for 10 plus years now. This exact same format, this exact same size. I just find it to be, I love it. I have to have this kind of a setup in order to get my life together. And this is why. When I've got things all running around inside of my head, that is not a good thing. That to me equates to confusion. It makes me nervous. It actually makes me shut down, because I don't know what to do with those things running around in my head. They're not good up there. I literally don't know what to do with them. But when I can get them down on a piece of paper, on a list, I literally, some way, take them out of my head, and I put them down on a list, and all of a sudden, they're manageable. And I literally take them out of my head. When I put them down on a piece of paper, then I don't worry about them anymore. Then I'm not confused anymore. When they're in my head running around, I kind of go to shutdown mode, because I do not know what to do with them. That's clutter in my mind. And when there's clutter, there is no composure. There's no organization. I don't know what to do with them. I don't know when to do it. I don't know how to do it. There's nothing I can do when they're running around up there. When I put it down all on paper, then there is no more overwhelm for me. All of a sudden, then I can start to work with it. It's not like it's poof magic and it's all done. It's like, then I can start to work with it. And the way I work with it is I then prioritize what I'm going to do with it. And we talked about this a little bit on the other video, but let's flip. I think it's just over here. Let's flip to a page and I'll show you a good example. Okay, let's look right here. This is the way. Okay, now in this particular binder system, there's 2 pages. This is a daily planning system. There's 2 pages to each day. On this page, there's a prioritized daily task sheet. There's an appointment part of it that is timed, so you can put down appointments. And then there's your daily notes that you can do all over here. Now, the prioritized daily task list, that does not mean you can only put down things for today. When I'm starting to get my plan together, I put down everything I need to put down over here. that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to do it today. I'll show you why in a minute, okay? So I put down all of the tasks that I need to put down here. Then anything that I need to do today, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to put an A right here. A is priority number 1. Those things are going to get done first. So if they have to be in that first group and they really need my attention, they get A's. If they need attention but not immediate, they're going to get B's. And then if they, if they're important but not an A or B category, they're going to get C's. Now, if they're an A category and they have to be done first that day, they're going to be an A1. If they're still important, not very, very top of the pile, they're going to be an A2. The next is A3, and so on, until they get checked off. Then I'm going to go to my B group. They're going to get a B1, a B2, and a B3. That's how I do it. And then the C's, etc. When something gets accomplished, it gets a check mark. If it is in progress, a task in progress, it's going to get a circle beside it. So I will know I've either made a call, I've made an inquiry, I'm waiting on somebody to return a call, whatever. After that circle, I've started it and it gets finished, then I put a check mark by it. If it is not something that absolutely has to be done today, however, it had to be put on the page because it needed to be out of my head, then it gets a forward arrow. A forward arrow means it does not have to be taken care of today. I just wanted it out of my head and on a paper where I could remember it had to be done. A forward arrow means that sometime in the future it has to be taken care of. I'm putting it down. I note that it needs to be noted on a day that it needs to be done, and it will get forward movement in some place. Like on this day. Now on this day there are several arrows forward. And what that means is they've got to be put on the schedule and be done again. Now, it is not uncommon for me to move a forward arrow forward several times. I mean, if it's just truly not all that urgent, then I'm going to do it when I can get it done. So it might be moved forward 3 or 4 different times. It's just not that big a deal, okay? So these have forward arrows. They may be moved forward. This one's got to be taken care of pretty quickly. This one can move forward several different times. Okay? That is just how I take care of the forward arrows. But that allows it, again, out of my brain on the page. So I don't have to really think about it. I just know that it can be done at some point. So right here we've got some A's, A1, A2, A3, we've got some B's, we have a great big star that I haven't even touched on, and then we have some other things. We also have a tag that says prioritize. There will be prioritize tags throughout here, throughout the first several pages in here, because I told you in the other video, I just started out the month without a plan, not a good situation, but in order to do that, I have to get stuff on paper, and then I'm going to have to prioritize, because again, I can go on overwhelm. When this doesn't have a lot of check marks, like it hasn't been taken care of like it needs to be, I can still go overwhelmed. But as long as I can stop and think, prioritize, we can get it knocked out, it'll be okay, then I'm okay. But I have to leave myself little notes of encouragement. Prioritize, we'll get it done. Prioritize, we'll get it done. Does that make sense? Now, as far as an example about that, normally whenever I go to bed in the evenings, I pick up a book. It is a novel. It's a fun novel, a light read. It's just something that relaxes me and gets everything off my mind. Didn't work last night. Had too much on my mind. So I grabbed one of these large index cards that I just work from in a lot of different ways, and I started making notes for myself. These are things that I needed to get done today. They were on my mind. I needed them off my mind so I could rest. And I also knew that I didn't give as much information as I wanted to share in the first video because I didn't want it so long, and I could think of other things that I wanted to add. I wanted them off my mind. I wanted them on a sheet of paper where I could remember to share them. So that's what I added at, I don't know, 11 o'clock last night, so that I could remember to do that. It doesn't have to be in this planner. It is now. I took this, and first thing I did this morning was I made some of these notes in the planner so they would be addressed. So the planning type of system with prioritizing will work when you're in the car and you have stuff on your mind, when you're with your family. Nah, don't do it with your family. When you're someplace else and have stuff that needs to get off your mind because you need it where it needs to be important, then get it off your mind so you don't have to think about it anymore. But this is how you can utilize it. Now, I can't do this kind of thing in a pretty planner. There's not room for it. And I can't look around all the pretty and all the stickers and all that fun. I can't look around all that for this. I have to, this is my work zone. This is not my pretty fun zone. This is my work zone. That's how I do it. That does not mean that's how you have to do it. But this is my getting down to business type stuff. So that's where I wanted to bring in the phone. Also, yes, I have a calendar on my phone and I use my phone, but I only use it for general type things. I keep general appointments on it. I would never ever dream of trying to do anything in depth like this. But if I'm with parents and we're making a medical appointment, I put that on my phone. I put general type of things on my phone, but I will not dream of making any type of work mode type of prioritization on my phone. That just would not work. Now, one thing that I do have to be better about, I have not done it at all, is with the social media, I'm working on getting a much better plan together and get it much more cohesive. I do not have hours devoted to that. And here's something that I feel is very, very important. Time spent devoted to one thing is time spent away from something else. Did you get that? Time spent doing one thing is time spent not doing something else. That's why it's important to prioritize. Because if you're doing one thing, you are not doing something else. So I have got to be able to plug in a time frame for doing the social media, because I'm revamping some of it, and that can be very timely, and I can really get keyed in on that because I actually love that very much. So I have got to start devoting a special amount of time to that. Get in, get it done, and get out. So speaking of the social media, what is your favorite type of social media? When you spend a certain amount of time on social media, what do you go to first? What do you go to second? I just want to know what your favorite type of social media is. And when we visited about that little on the previous video, I forgot to mention Pinterest, and that's like a really big deal also. What do you go to first? Do you go to Pinterest? Prioritize how you love the social media these days. What you go to first, what you go to second, how much time you spend on social media. That's kind of a fun thing also. So you'll get a kick out of this. I want to share it with you. I was working on my YouTube, and on one of the videos, we had 15 views. I mean, that's kind of fun. We're new. I just started. I mean, I think I've been posting videos, 7 or 10 days? 15 views is pretty cool. So I hope that the content is worthy of what you want to see and why you're watching YouTube and what you want in planners and how it can literally be helpful to you in your daily lives. So if it helps you, share it with your friends. Tell them about the channel. If you just go in and search Candy, C-A-N-D-I-K, Can, you find the channel. I swear to you, the video link looks like it would be spam. That's why I don't do a lot of that right now. Just search Candy, C-A-N-D-I-K, Can. That'll take you to the link. Share that with your friends and family. give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to it, and that will help us grow this channel. We can share more fun things together about the art of planning. We can share the pretty side, the on-purpose side, the powerful side, and we'll grow the channel and have more time together, and I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.